Hi guys, first video with the new phone and camera, so we're gonna try this and see how it comes out. So what are we gonna talk about today? Well, you guys saw the title. We're gonna revisit the Wii 601. Now, I've had this knife for a while. It's the first Wii knife I ever bought. It's the knife that introduced me into Wii knives. And it was the first knife that I got in S35E, and it had a really super good heat treat. So without any further ado, as always, here comes the music. So, Wii 601. Now, you guys know I did a video about it a long time ago. I told you guys how much I liked it then. I got it, and it definitely does not look like I got it. I will find a picture, probably from Blade HQ, or one of those places still have it posted up, that shows what it looks like when I purchased it. When I got it, it was just raw titanium. Everything was just raw gray titanium with a blue or purple, I think it was purple logo. And I really didn't like it, but I had just gotten into anodizing, so I changed it. And this is the original color scheme, but not the original anodizing. You know, anodizing wears off. So the cool thing about this blade has got a unique grind to it. And it's the first knife I ever saw with this grind. And I really like it. Really love the knife. It's a discontinued model. They don't make it anymore. So we're going to turn it around and take a look at it. But first, I just wanted to say, you know, they have a model that's similar to this, but it doesn't quite compare. I will tell you that it does have a multi-row bearing system, and I'm not such a big fan of the multi-row bearing system in this knife. It does seem to get gummy and dirty quicker than my knives that either run on bearings or a single row bearing, or not bearings, but washers, or a single row bearing system. I don't know what the difference is. It just seems like the two knives that I have that have the multi-rows with the ceramic bearings in the plastic race, they just seem to get dirtier quicker. This one on my React, and I love them both, but yeah, they do seem to just like gather grit in that bearing system a little bit easier than some of my other knives. So without any further ado, guys, let's turn this camera around and get right into it. So what are we looking at here? We are looking at a full titanium frame lock with a milled pocket clip. This is not my favorite pocket clip. I am not a huge fan of how narrow this pocket clip is. However, it in regular pants, it does not have a tendency to walk back and forth on your pocket. In like basketball shorts or like track pants, it kind of will. All of this detail work is gorgeous on this milling. It's really comfortable. This knife is super comfortable in hand. Really good action, nice blade shape, nice handle design. Really comfortable. The pocket clip it's not a hot spot, but like I said, the only issue I have that is in thinner pants, this has tendency to walk back and forth in your pocket. So let's take a look at it real quick and look at some specs here. So you got a handle length of 4.75. A blade length of 3.75, with overall length of from tip to tail, it is 8.6 inches overall. The blade thickness is 0.15, not super thick. In S35VN. Now the cool thing about this knife is it has got a very striking blade grind. So instead of this blade having a distal taper like a lot of knives do, where it thins from heel to tip, they basically left it all one thickness and ground that out at the same angle all the way through. Now you can see this knife gets used. This knife gets used a lot. I love this little knife. And this is one of those knives that has a wide enough grind that you can see, even though I tried to polish it all out, you can see the multiple facets that I used to accomplish my convex grind. And you can see this knife actually got dinked here not long ago, and I have not fixed it. The tip has been damaged on it. I just haven't repaired it because these can be a pain to sharpen. to get a convex on them the way I want. But just incredibly sharp. And like I said, this is the first knife I got in S35BN that did not seem overly soft. This holds an edge incredibly well, really aggressive. This thing cuts aggressively. And it's really comfortable in hand. Really comfortable, really straight. Really has a striking shape to it when it's open. It's attractive. This is an attractive knife. Now, I didn't pay for this, so I couldn't tell you. I think they were $245 on Blade Center. I used points on Knife Center. I mean, I didn't use Blade HQ. I used Knife Center to buy this, and I had a ton of points because there was a long time that I was purchasing knives for my military friends because I got a discount through Knife Center for a while. I no longer do, but yeah, you can see really, really nicely ground blade. Nice look to it with that two-tone, not necessarily two-tone, but two angles. Your flats are nice and polished. Just a really nice blade finish. So yeah, you can see that's I've cut probably through something that I shouldn't have with this knife. The only problem that I really have with this knife is a pain in the butt to disassemble because it had these proprietary screws. Now the knife came with a tool, and it actually came with a spare set. This knife did. I don't know where they're at, but I have a spare set of screws for this knife and a pivot. Because you could, basically it was so you could change the color. Like there was two colors. I think one was different, and I set it aside to save, and I don't know where I put them. But yeah, there was a small tool that came with this, and well, hang on a second. Let's just go and get it. So as you can see, it came with a tool for it, but the problem is, guys, you can't get very much torque on this to tighten things down, and so your screws will work loose if you're using this by hand, and there's no way to put this in a bit driver. Basically what I do is I will take a metal rod and stick through the hole, and you turn it into a T-wrench, but most of the time it stays on a little key fob thing that's on the outside of my toolbox. But it did come with a tool, but there's no real way to use this tool very well. That's my only real issue with this knife. So let's go ahead and see, let's get some weight on this. Hang on just a second. All right, let's get some weight on this. Now, online it's listed as 4.66 ounces. So let's see what it comes out to in ounces here. 4 5/8 ounces. So let's see that in grams. Oh, I zeroed it. Never mind. There we go. In grams, you are looking at right at 133 grams. It's not a super heavy knife. There is a lot of weight reduction. If you look, you can see down in there is a lot of weight reduction milled into that knife, which does make it fairly light and comfortable. And it gives it something that I really find nice in knives is it gives it just enough tip forward weight that when you've got this knife in hand, you know exactly where that blade is at, which for a lot of people is not a big deal. But if you've ever been somebody that uses a knife for a lot of stuff and does a lot of work with a knife, or if you've trained with a knife for self-defense and things like that as a weapon, then you know that having that little bit of weight tip forward lets you know where that blade is at all times. You don't have to reference, you don't have to look and reference at where your blade is in space. You just instinctively know because you can feel it out there. So hopefully the light is good on this, guys. It's been kind of one of those hazy, cloudy days where I have problems with lighting. But yeah, this is super, super cool and attractive. And it's been something that spends a lot of time in my pocket since the day I got it. And you can see it gets some wear. And like I said, that blade is stretched. I do like how they mark their blade. As a matter of fact, when I first got this, I didn't know what that was. I was like, what is NASES? I thought that was NASES. I did not know. It was kind of a cool way that they marked it. And a lot of their knives are marked in some of these odd areas, like sometimes on the back of the flipper tab right here, or down in here. Case in point is the WE Knives Now, granted, like I said, this knife has not been released yet, and it is a prototype, but if you were to look how they mark things, it does say on here somewhere that it is in 20 CV. Allow me to, there it is. 20 CPM 20 CV. So, yeah. They mark their knives steels in, sorry it took so long to do that, they mark their knife steels on their blades in unique fashion. So it is actually kind of like a little Easter egg hunt to find all the markings on your blade on a Wee knife. So let's turn this around. We'll look at this one more time real close. Probably because I need a thumbnail. And then we will we'll talk about it, little final thoughts. So, the Wii 601, would I buy it again? Absolutely. I would not have bought this if I had not seen one of these and gotten to hold it in hand, because I didn't know what Wii Knife Company was. It was one of the first Wii knives I ever saw. I mean, actually, it was the first Wii knife I ever saw. It was the first one I ever bought. And I immediately recognized the quality of production. And to tell you the truth, guys, this is well below the standard that they've set for other things. It's one of the reasons I went to them to produce the Stonefish. They do good work. They do good work consistently, and they're easy to deal with. But the 601 is an awesome, awesome, awesome knife. And it is, you get at $245 at the time, you were getting a really unique knife that was still functional. Like you can, this is still a really functional, usable knife. So that kind of, it's in that area where you get something unique, you get something special, you get something new, but it's still something you can use. It's definitely not something you would just stick in your safe. And the fact is, now that it's discontinued, there is no chance I would ever get rid of this. I thought a couple times about selling this. I was like, you know, I carry it, but you know, I've got so many other knives, I could probably do without this one. But I never did. And I'm glad I didn't, because now it's discontinued and it's great. It's a great, great little knife. So that's it, guys. That's all I can say about it. Like, we're just revisiting. You guys saw the intro. If you like the videos, please, if you're watching it and you watch it, just leave a like. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. If you guys do want, I've had people tell me that they don't know how to join the channel. If you want to join the channel, in the description, I have a link. There is a link to the join. And it says, you know, to take it, to get the exclusive content and the free and the exclusive giveaways and stuff, just click that link. If you're interested, you know, it helps support the channel. It allows me to do things like, I'm probably going to try and talk to Jim Skelton about going out to Texas and seeing what goes on in his shop in the future. If we can get the memberships to the point where it will finance a trip from here to Texas, just for gas, basically. So, I mean, really, I'm giving away a lot of stuff. So, guys, like I said, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. But if you don't like them, tell me why. You can give a thumbs down. Just try to tell me why you don't like the videos. In this corner here is going to be a link to a video that YouTube thinks you like. Down here, I will pick a channel and link it. It might be Jim's, because I was talking to him this morning, so that might be something that'll happen. Down here is going to be an actual link to the join button. You can join down here. If you have questions and can't find it, you don't want to go to the home set, there's a link right here. And then up here's a subscribe button. Guys, I love you all. Take care of yourselves in these weird times that we're living in. And I will talk to you all later. And I had to turn off that timer. So, sorry about that little step in. Guys, hopefully the video quality on this is better. I'm shooting it in 4K. I'm going to upload it in 4K. We'll see if that makes it better, because I do know a lot of times these videos do seem like they're just not as clear as they were shot. So, love you guys. Take it easy, and I'll talk to you later.